Article entitled, Forgetting and Remembering by Elmer Weeks. Philippians chapter 3, verses 13 to 14 says, Brethren, I do not count myself to have apprehended. But one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forward to those things which are ahead, I press toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. And at Ephesians chapter 2, verses 11 through 13 says, Therefore remember that you, once Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by what is called the circumcision made in the flesh by hands, that at that time you were without Christ, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. But now in Christ Jesus, you who once were far off have been brought near by the blood of Christ. Are there things that we need to forget about our past? Are there things that we need to remember about our past? The answer to these questions depends on the perspective motivating the questions. If our perspective is negative, then remembering them will be a hindrance to our Christian walk. Doing this can be an anchor to keep us from progressing in our walk. This is the kind of thinking that our very subtle adversary Satan encourages. Our focus should be on what the Lord has done and is doing in our lives. Perhaps this is what the apostle meant to convey to our minds in Philippians 3, verses 13 and 14 above. But if our perspective is positive, then looking into our past can be very beneficial and make us grateful as we consider what the Lord has done for us to bring us to where we are today. It can be an energizing force to spur us on to greater appreciation for God's loving patience with us in our daily following in the footsteps of Jesus. The old hymn that told us to count our blessings, name them one by one, and see what the Lord has done captures this thought perfectly. I can only imagine if it were possible for us to truly remember every one of our blessings, the amount of time it would take us, and the flood of gratitude that would fill our hearts, even to a bursting point. Let us never forget that Jesus made it possible to be where we are now in Christ, because he laid down his life, shedding his blood for each of us on Calvary's cross. The Apostle Paul reminds us of this in Ephesians 2:11-13 above. What greater cause for our gratitude can there be? It has been suggested that keeping a gratitude journal would be of great value. Take 5 minutes every night to think about anything you are thankful for that day and write it down in your gratitude journal. At the end of the week, review what you have written, and you will be surprised at all the positive ways God has worked in your life. Some thoughts on gratitude. Psalm 118, verse 24. This is the day which the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. It is never too soon to express your gratitude, because you never know when it will be too late. Gratitude is first an intaking, and then an outward expression of what it was that blessed us. If you can't find something to be grateful for, then you are probably the most miserable person on earth. Look at the beauties of nature all around you. Recognize their masterful maker, and then try to hold back your gratitude if you can. A grateful heart has little room for disappointment. Gratitude is a divine emotion that derives its source from above. A grateful heart is content with what they have. More than enough is an expression of gratitude. One who has a grateful heart has a radiant countenance. Don't forget to express your gratitude to the giver of all that is good.